I was tired to just sell my time for money. There should have been a way out. I tried a lot of businesses back then. Many of those businesses failed. Now I know why they failed. The problem with e-commerce is that you also need to have cash in front. I had my first sale on Amazon within 48 hours. I could hardly believe my eyes, but I made a sale. This e-commerce business, it created my freedom in the end. Hi, my name is Anton, and my story started years ago. I just had a job as an HR manager, just a 9-to-5 job, which was fine, but I wanted more, especially I wanted more time. I was tired to just sell my time for money, and I knew there should have been a way out. Now, the problem was that I didn't know anybody who actually figured this out. I heard a lot of noise and people that were making a killing while almost not working. But these were people I just knew from the internet. I didn't know them personally, so I didn't even know if their story was true or if this just was a story to sell courses or whatever. I started digging, I started searching online, I was reading a lot of books, and I tried a lot of things. I tried a lot of businesses back then. Many of those businesses failed. Now I know why they failed. I was living in a tiny country named Belgium, and there's not so many people living there. And now I understand that the bigger your market is, actually, the higher chance you will sell more and you will make more money. Anyway, that's something we will dig into later. So years back, I started with an e-commerce business. And to be honest, I wasn't too sure about that. I started selling a product. If I would tell you right now, you would not believe even that I would make money on it. And it was the only product I started selling. And as soon as the product came online, I had my first sale on Amazon within 48 hours. I could hardly believe my eyes, but I made a sale. The few products in the end I bought were sold out in a very short time. And I realized I had to order more, and I also had to order more products. I had to grow my brand. And a few years later, this is actually quite a big and quite known brand within its niche. So after I grew this brand, I was actually able to make a living out of it, and I could quit my job. Actually, this was for me like a dream coming true. I was making money, and I could actually just be wherever I wanted. I did not have to spend too much time in the business. On average, just a few hours a week. I just had to make sure I had a laptop with me wherever I went, and I could just follow up on my business. That's when I really started traveling a lot. I also relocated. I decided to live in another country. Right now I live in Poland, and this is all thanks to e-commerce. So for me, this e-commerce business, it created my freedom in the end. I'm able to do my hobbies, way more hobbies than I ever could when I had a 9-to-5 job. I can spend time with my family as much as I want. And in the meantime, I'm still making money. And the nice feature of this is that I still have time left to create new brands, to create new e-commerce businesses. And that's also what I tried, because I wanted to test if my judgment was good enough to launch some new brands. And it appeared it was. Right now, I started another brand which actually sells very well. And I have so many more ideas for new brands. But the problem with e-commerce is that you also need to have cash in front, because you need to pay for your products. The products that you want to sell, you have to pay for those first. So although I have maybe 10 different ideas, I can only work on one idea at a time. And this is why I decided to simply share my knowledge and maybe help some other people that are struggling, that also want to set up an e-commerce business, but they make some mistakes. They don't really see what the issue is, which was my problem back then. And it took for me some time and money to realize that. Even today, I'm still making mistakes. I admit that. I'm still learning every day. I'm still realizing I'm making mistakes now and then. And I'm willing to learn from these mistakes, because that's in the end what business is. There is not one business owner or good business owner that will claim that he knows everything and he's no longer making mistakes. Everybody's making mistakes at the end. So there are many friends that came to me to ask advice about how to choose a product, where to start, how to choose the right supplier. And I just gave them just my advice for free, because I want them to do well as well. So this is how I came to the conclusion that I could as well share this advice to people on the internet, so they would not make the mistakes that I made in the past, and they would have an advantage. It's still booming, it's still growing, it's gonna be more and more important in time, and I think there's still a lot of opportunities to be found. So if you are looking for some side income, because for this, e-commerce is actually excellent. You can totally build an e-commerce brand while you're having a full-time job, or you simply want to enjoy freedom in quite some time, because I also want to add, e-commerce is not going to make you rich after a week. It doesn't work like that. So if you want a side hustle, e-commerce, it's actually a perfect side hustle to do next to your job. Or you simply want to make income or make money and while actually have a lot of free time, or you still want to invest actually all this time in e-commerce, then you're simply going to make more money. You can, with e-commerce, you can actually go any direction. I chose to spend less of my time to put less of my time into the business. But for me, what I'm earning, it's enough to make a happy living. If you want to double down, it's also possible. Even if you want to have a full-time job, but you want an extra income, then e-commerce could also work for you. If you want to hear more about my experiences and my analysis about e-commerce and about selling on Amazon, be sure to follow my channels, and I'll get back to you with more information and with more tips, with more experiences.